Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web. Right, we're going to be painting today, but before we do that I want to show you what I've done with our figures from Dreadball, amongst other things. So here's our orc and goblin characters from our orky team. They've all been undercoated in grey. You might be able to see a slight difference in the shade of the plastic there. The body's been undercoated, but obviously the bottom of the base hasn't. I've done that with all 10 models. So they're all the same and all awaiting painting. Obviously I'll do one of those and one of these. I'm not going to be doing them all because I'm going to be doing them all in the exact same colours because they are a team when all said and done. So they're all going to have the same colour scheme. Okay, that's for those. Next we have our human squad, and what I've done with those is spray them rather, all white. As you can see. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm just trying to pick them up. I forgot to bring them over, so I'm just stretching across the table to get them. So there we have all the human characters, or the human team rather. I've painted these white because I'm going to be doing the majority of these white, so I don't want them being too dark for the undercoat. So that's the reason I've done that. You may not be able to see much detail in them properly. It's probably just a white blob at the moment because of the light, but that's how it is. I've also done the two balls that we have white so far. They're going to be different, and I've also done the referee white as well. So I'm going to do the referee in a slightly different way than I usually do my models. It's just something I've seen and I just want to give it a try, see what the effect's like. I may be wasting my time, but what the heck, you'll live and learn. Next thing, what I have bought is yet more for Dead Zone. We have the little mortar characters for the tum tiddly tum tum tum, whatever they're called, the Plague faction. So we have a chappy here who is carrying a mortar shell. We have another one here who's in charge of the mortar. The guy who says, right, ready, aim, fire kind of thing. And we have the mortar itself. So we have that set to do. Next we have more to show you. More treating you tonight. I'm going to try something different because I bought myself a wet palette. It's for acrylic painting. I'm going to see if this will help with the whites, because I don't know whether you've noticed with the white that you may use if you use the Citadel range, it's very thick and it doesn't really spread terribly well. It can leave it look a little powdery, so I bought that. Okay, I've not given you much of a look, have I? Because I haven't actually opened it yet, so let's do that, shall we? Let's just do that, and let's open up and see what we have here. Well, as you can tell, it's a very thin plastic palette. Okay, so what we have, it's a proper one designed for whatchamacallit, acrylic painting for artists. And what we have is a lid, and then we have some Stay Wet for Days acrylic palette paper. So basically what you do is wet this, squeeze out your acrylic paints on it, and it basically retards the drying time of it, which with acrylic is all good. Right, so it's all different type of paper. It is, yeah. So that is okay. So we have like a thick card kind of paper, like a blotting paper that you would wet, place in there, and then on top of that there is a thin, it's like a greaseproof paper. Sorry about that, just getting carried away. So that is where you place that on top, and the water would permeate through that, I'm assuming, and go into the paint and keep it moist, keep it usable. So that's what I've got so far. Now it's a bit big, so when I'm mixing it, it won't be on camera, unfortunately. But I can try my best to remember to move it across so you can actually see what I'm doing and the shading I've got. But we'll see what I can do with that. And then, I mean, if you're doing this for arts, you would squeeze your paint actually on the, take up what you want, and use this side to mix your paint. But I'm just going to be putting the paint straight on here and mixing it on here. I'm just going to put these pieces of paper back. As I was saying, you put your paint on here and you take off what you want, put it on there, mix it up, and then when you finish, if you've any paint left, you take this part, place it on top, and that will prevent it from drying out. Good idea, methinks. We'll see how it works. Right, Fun Momiji is the only person so far to have selected our next victims for a makeover, and he's chosen Joe Diamond and Caroline Fern, or Carolyn Fern, however it is pronounced. So these are the ones we're going to be doing next. One of these is the one we're going to be doing in this video, and to find out which one we are going to be doing, I shuffle them up. It's not much of a bit of a mix up, just in case. I'm going to mix them up off camera under the table so I don't know what they are, and I'm just going to pull them along and turn it over, and we're going to be doing Joe Diamond this time. So that's the last of our male characters we're doing, and he looks remarkably like this fella. So he's got his long coat, shirt and tie, jacket. I'm trying to work out whether I can see braces though, whether it's just folding his shirt, I'm not sure. But this is the guy we're doing this time. So I shall just go and get some water, get my brushes sorted out, and then we can get cracking. Okay, I'm back, I'm all set, and we're going to be now painting Joe Diamond, Neil's brother. Hello again. Right, so what I'm going to be doing first is placing the card out of the way so nothing can happen to it accidentally. We're also going to be looking at the colour that's of the character on the card, which is it's looking incredibly purplish with a purple suit. Now what I'm thinking is, instead of purple, more like a dark blue long coat, dark blue suit, a white shirt and a dark blue tie. with black shoes, black guns, and I'm not sure whether to go for black hats or just keep the dark blue theme going. Keep everything that same colour of dark blue. I think I might actually just do everything like a dark bluey colour except for his shirt, which, as I say, will be white. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So the blue I've chosen, I'm not exactly certain which one to go for. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to abandon the fang. I'm going to go with Calidor Sky and mix it in with a little Abaddon Black. Yeah. For his skin tone, I'm thinking Kislev Flesh with a Druchii Violet wash, and then highlighting with a little bit of Screaming Skull. The highlights of, I'm thinking a base coat though. At the moment the base coat I think is going to be a mixture of these two. I may just do a slightly paler blue for the highlighting, but still mixing in the black with the blue, and then, as I say, white scar for his shirt. Okay, get cracking, we shall. So, I said we're going to be going for Kislev Flesh for his flesh, so we'll do that, and just a little bit of water on the brush, on the palette, and then add the paint, and we simply go over his face. Now there's not much of a neck area here, but there is ear on this side, ear on this side, which is usually the norm. A little bit of hair at the back, so I'll probably do that black as well. And we'll also do, now then, yeah, we'll do his hands as well in the flesh colour. I don't know whether he will be wearing gloves or not, but I'm going to choose to think that he's not wearing gloves. So let's have some more paint on our brush as the other lot has dried up, and hopefully that new palette will help combat that and allow for good layer mixing, shall we say, because I want to try and improve my painting technique a little bit by learning how to do the layer techniques with very thin watery paints over each other and building up the paint in that way rather than just slapping the paint on and getting a good coverage the first time. I'm not saying it will succeed, but I'm going to have a go. Because the one thing I'm not doing is going to sit here doing these painting videos showing you how I paint my videos and not even trying to improve myself. That would be just that little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypocritical, don't you think? Right, now I said we're going to have a lot of dark blue, and I'm not joking, we are going to have a lot of dark blue. We're going to have also some water in there. We're going to have, I say, quite a lot of the dark blue here. Okay, so put that to one side, give the black a shake, and then add this until I think it's dark enough, little by little, bit by bit. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, why does it make me think it's going to turn into the Fang? That's not what I want. That's not the colour at all that I want. I want a really, really, really deep blue. I think there is that so much grey in this. This black, well, not so much grey, but it's just turning it black. I'm going to add a bit of red in this to see if I can salvage it in any way. This is not at all the colour I'm looking for. It does look as though it's just turning into the Fang. Okay, I'm going to add some Drukgyal violets. I might even actually add, instead of doing that, I'll add some purple. And if this works, I'll just get the Fang and... No, it's not going to work. Let's go back to adding just black. I think what I might just do is just add black to the Fang. It might be easier doing it that way rather than trying to mix. The colour is not going the way I wanted, but that's all I was looking for. I was hoping for a real royal blue. Never mind, I haven't got it. So what I will do is I will start with this first of all on his coat. And I know normally there would be a different colour lining in a coat and jacket, but just for ease at the moment I'm just going to carry on doing this. I may change it eventually, but as I say, there's plenty of time for that. Okay, so next job is his hair, and I'm just going to use black, and I'll do the guns and his shoes as well. There we go. Now I've just realised I forgot his... I'm going to have to get his shirt done very quickly so I can get his tie done while there's still some of this blue colour mixed. Because the one thing I don't want to do is start to do his tie and then having to work around that with the white, because that will just be a pain in the neck. Okay, so that's... I've not done his guns, but I'll do them momentarily. As I say, I want to get his shirt done first, so I'll just give the white a shake. little bit of water on the palette, a little bit of paint, on the water, and then oops, I've touched his face with the blue and I've missed certain parts. I think what I've done is added too much water to the blue, no, to the white, sorry. And I have missed a couple of areas. With the blue, so I'm glad I didn't mix that little extra, because it's going to take a little longer to dry. Okay, so his shirt is done. I've also gone over his tie, you may have noticed, but what I want to do now is just touch up the areas with the blue that I've missed. Okay, so I've not missed that part, but it needs going over. There is a part on his collar here that I've missed. A bit there that I've missed. And there's some area of his trousers, waistband on his trousers, that needs to be done. There we are. Okay, and what else I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to a finer brush for the cuffs of his shirts, because there's a little too much in the line of blue stuff there. So I'm cut to a finer brush, and hopefully this one is going to do the job. And it's just a case of and again, there's a little bit of the blue that I missed out on this. It's not easy to see all of it sometimes. You only tend to see what you've missed when you start putting the next colour on, but not to worry, it's nothing, as I said, that can't be fixed with just a little bit of delicate touch and patience. So we're just going to have that delicate touch exercised here while I go over his collar, or the cuff of his shirts rather, not this collar, the cuff of his shirt there, and the, oops, not the cuff there, well, where else was there? I'm sure I saw it, I'm sure I saw somewhere else. Oh yes. And now you'll just waft gently over his tie, and then once we've done that, we'll give it a few moments to dry before adding the first wash. And I know I'm going to have to go over his face again, and I'm going to have to go over the guns as well. So, not a big problem. I'll do the guns first. And that's just a little bit of black. Just that. And there. There we are. Okay, so that's majority of him done. I just need to touch up a little on the brim of his hat with the dark blue. And I think really that's all I need to do with the dark blue. What I am going to do as well, which I forgot to do to start off with, is our friendly neighbourhood post attack. Give it a bit of a squeeze, get the natural oils out of my fingers into there to make it sticky. Top of an old paint tub. And there we go. That means I'm keeping my fingers off the model and keeping the paint looking fresh, as it should do. Okay, so I've given the blue enough time to dry. What I'm going to do now is apply some more of the wrong colour paint. Oh dear. For the Kislev Flesh, that's the one I wanted, not the Screaming Skull, which is the one I was about to put on. Okay, so it's just a case of dab 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 here and there, just to tidy up the flesh areas. Started getting hiccups again. Be as careful as you can here. I know I've hit a couple of areas on the gun, but like I said, the more careful you are, the better it's going to look, obviously. Like I say, I'm not doing these for any other reason other than making them look good when I'm playing the game, so I'm not in any great fuss about them for over detail.